right, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today, this afternoon, Wednesday afternoon. My name is Leslie Stwars. I am the Director of Training here at Aeries. You are in session 196, Aeries Communications, powered by ParentSquare. And this is being presented by teachers for teachers. So I hope that you guys can learn a lot. Want to remind you too that we do have this evening our social night. So please, if you have time, come and join us. We have some great prizes. You must be present to win the prizes. So join us. That starts at 5. I'm going to turn this over to Ricardo Rosenos and Teresa Castro. They are both TOSAs at Hacienda La Puente, and I'll let them introduce themselves.
Thank you so much, Leslie. We're actually going to hand it over to Bill right now.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you again. Our third and final session for Aeries Communications. And I'm so excited about this one. I think it's so much more impactful when you can hear from actual users. And I had the chance to meet with Ricardo and Teresa yesterday, and just so excited about the information they're about to share. As somebody who works for ParentSquare, certainly we know the system and we know how it's intended to be used. But I really think there's an added power in hearing from people that use it every day, and the new and creative ways that they come up with this. So they're going to share a lot of best practices and tips and tricks that I think are really going to help you in your usage of the tool. So a little bit of house cleaning. I will also be in the chat section, as well as Sarah from Aeries. And so if you do have questions throughout the presentation, please go ahead and put them into the chat, and we'll do our best to answer those, as well as leave a little bit of time for question and answer at the end, and we can hear from Ricardo and Teresa when they're done with their presentation on that. So just wanted to make that available. Thank you so much for another great Aeries Con. Thank you to Leslie and the Aeries team. It's been an incredible year. And I know that Leslie has been very busy. So I want to say a thank you, and we appreciate that. I think I've received 100 emails leading up to the conference with all the great information about it. So thank you to the Aeries team. Really appreciate it. And sincere thank you to Ricardo and Teresa for putting together this presentation. So excited to watch it. And again, if you have any questions, please put them in your chat.
Wow, thank you so much for that intro. Again, my name is Teresa Castro.
And I am Ricardo Resinos.
We are both technology TOSAs from Hacienda La Puente Unified School District, and we are so excited to be here. And we're going to teach you some tips and tricks that we've shared with our teachers and things that they've shared with us as well. We might not go as in depth as some of the other sessions for ParentSquare, but those are there for you. But hopefully you get a lot from our session as well. So our session is called Inform Me, Don't Annoy Me, Reaching the Last 10%, Engaging the Hardest to Reach Families. Ricardo, where did that title come from?
You know, Teresa, let me ask you a question. Before ParentSquare, I know your daughter's district has ParentSquare. How did your district communicate with you when it came to your daughter?
Every teacher had something else. There was Class Dojo. Of course, we just had regular emails. There were just so many different things going on at the same time. So
I know for me, before ParentSquare, my daughter's school too, I was getting mailers, I was getting messages, I was getting emails, I was getting texts, and it was just impossible. That sometimes I just basically kind of tuned it out, and I think that's how we came with that title of Inform Me, Don't Annoy Me. Yes.
Right. So if you want to follow along with us, don't feel like you have to grab every little piece of information here. We will share this with you. I think, Ricardo, you can share that link with them. It's there at the bottom of our presentation, bit.ly/Aeries PS 2022, or you could simply use the QR code there in the corner and follow along with us if you like. And we will post that a few times throughout our session today, just for those who might be coming in a little bit late. Okay?
Yeah, and I think before we start, coming from Hacienda La Puente, I can tell you that our district was really struggling to engage 100% of our families, especially the hardest 10% that we call the persistent 10%. And there were so many challenges, and I think ParentSquare has been the solution for us. And we're going to show you how ParentSquare has come in and just changed the way we do things.
Definitely. And so we're going to be sharing a lot of our story today. And along with that, also, of course, tips and tricks along the way. But so before we get started, we always, every time we present, we like to come down to our why we're doing this presentation, not just because technology is fun, which it is, but why are we here and why are you here right now? And why is it important to have communication with parents and families, good communication, right? So if you can please join us, I think Ricardo is going to put the link there in the chat. And if you don't have the link, it's pollev.com/Racinos. And you could join us for this quick poll just to kind of see, what is your why? Because our whys might be different, right? As parents versus educators, there's no wrong answer here. So please feel free to participate and we'll give you a few seconds to do that. Oh, I think someone's talking our love language, Ricardo. Someone said so.
I saw that.
Absolutely. We'll give a few seconds here.
And again, the link is on the chat.
Oh, I love it. Clear expectation, those open lines of communication. So not just one way, right? Two-way communication, consistency, engagement. Definitely. Ricardo, can you scroll down a little bit? I think I might have missed something there. It supports student success, time saving. Okay, great. So we're all on the same page. You're in the right place. Being able to share information in a two-way environment is important to student success. I think that person needs to come help us present this topic. Two-way communication for sure. Mm-hmm. Transparency, very important.
A lot of great answers.
I love it. Thank you everybody for participating. It's always a lot more fun when we have people participating with us. Are we ready, Ricardo, to move on? We didn't do our poll, but I think, are we okay without it?
Go ahead.
Keep going. Okay. All right. So again, so at the very beginning of our presentation, we're just going to kind of tell you a little bit about our district and always come back to our why and the reason why we decided to do this presentation for you. Our purpose is family involvement is one of the strongest predictors of children success. And I think that goes along with a lot with what someone had posted in the last poll, right? And very important. And how we're going to do that. Discover the importance of engaging families and the community and learn strategies for two-way communication between all stakeholders. So that is why we're here today.
And I think we all know that research shows that when we have parent and family involvement, I mean, it's just so crucial, right? That when we do have it, right, it's likely going to impact grades, better attendance, better social skills. And again, going back to our district, ParentSquare has allowed us to create that two-way communication in real time with our parents.
Definitely. So our objectives with you today is to learn how to utilize ParentSquare from a teacher's perspective to increase communication. And we'll go over all these tools with you. Tailor ParentSquare to meet your class needs, explore tips and tricks to make things work seamlessly. And our non-objective today is to become ParentSquare pros, because we aren't even pros. We have some pros here who will probably be answering your questions in the chat, but we don't expect you to come out here knowing everything. We don't expect anyone to throw out everything you've been doing. Please don't feel like this is the only way to do things. I know you're all doing wonderful jobs. Please keep it up. Please don't feel limited to what is shared today. All right. So before we continue, we do have a Padlet, and we love to keep Padlets for all of our presentations because it's a great place for us to share ideas and for us to come back to later on. And so just keep these in mind. The first column says aha moments, things I liked, learned, or would like to try. And we're going to revisit this Padlet at the end of our presentation today. So as we go along, start thinking of things. You can actually enter them as we're presenting. Ricardo will put he already did. Put the link in the chat. So as we're presenting, you can throw stuff in there, or we'll come back to it at the end and ask you to please add some things that you would like to try. Questions I have, you could add questions here, but I know Bill and our friends will also be helping us answer questions in the chat. So that's fine as well. Suggestions and resources. We always have educators here adding additional resources that help us out. So we've added our own first, and feel free to add any information there as well at any time. And again, we'll come back to this at the end. And if we forget, Ricardo will remind me, hopefully. Okay, so in our district, SEL is a big component, especially coming back from distance learning, SEL was such a huge thing that our students needed. And I think ParentSquare gave us a vehicle to help us not only conquer SEL in the classroom, but to bring it out further, out to the schools, families, caregivers, and communities. So we broadened our circle. And for those of you who are not familiar with what SEL is, it is social emotional learning. And the running definition we use is SEL is a process for helping children and adults develop the fundamental skills for life effectiveness. SEL teaches the skills we all need to handle ourselves, our relationships, and our work effectively and ethically. And we're not just talking about students here. We're talking about teachers. We're talking about all of us, right, Ricardo?
Correct.
So this is how we use ParentSquare first initially. So we're just going to go through these. We're going to focus actually on the second one here. We're not going to go through them all. And the second one is establish avenues for two-way communications with families about SEL and everything, but that's how we started. So.
And you'll hear us talk about positive messages via ParentSquare. You'll talk about meaningful connections that we can create with ParentSquare. So you'll hear that going back to SEL and this particular two-way communication step here.
Awesome. Okay, so before we actually get into the tools, I promise we're almost there. And we want to talk about the 5 barriers to engagement through communication. What are the things that get in our way? What are the things we have to overcome to be effective in our communication, and ParentSquare being the tool that we use? Click. Okay, so the first one, information overload. This is me, right, Ricardo? 20%, the percentage of Americans who feel overloaded by information, hence the title of our session, right?
Yeah, and I can talk from experience. As a Spanish teacher in high school, I was using Remind to reach all of my students before ParentSquare and all of my parents. And it took a while to find out that their younger siblings, the teachers in our elementary, were using Class Dojo. Some of them were using Pitchar or something else. And the parents were just being overwhelmed, coming from the left, from the right, and so on and so on. So until we started using ParentSquare, it changed everything. Also, I was sending so much information without purpose. And that's something that we're going to talk about today. And also just the way we were doing things. It's changed because of ParentSquare.
Absolutely. Language and cultural, 19.4%. This hits home for Ricardo and I am growing up as language learners as well. The percentage of English language learners in California alone, ELs are widespread in the US, 19.4%.
Yeah, as an former ESL student, this is huge, right? When we talk about equitable communication, right? And ParentSquare allows us to do that through the language option that we're going to show you today. So just huge.
And those are the stats for our district. We have over 3,000 EL students in HLP, and it was hard to set up and achieve 100% translation with all different, all the different tools we were trying to use. Okay, non-tech literate families and low bandwidth devices. This was a huge eye opener for us, especially when we're in distance learning. 43%, about 4 in 10 adults with lower incomes don't have home broadband.
And we saw this at our district. I know our district did a great job trying to provide hotspots for our students and parents, but also so many parents that had no email that we weren't even aware of. And we also noticed that with ParentSquare, we started pushing instead of pulling. So that was a great thing. We were pushing that information instead of pulling it in.
Inaccurate contact info. This was a big one, right? 40 million, the average number of Americans who move each year.
And this was huge for us. Consistency. And I think ParentSquare and Aeries working together for us and having that relationship where our information is accurate is just huge.
Yeah.
Families facing non-school related challenges, 10 million. The number of children who have a family member who is unemployed or lacks paid work due to the pandemic and other things as well, right?
Yeah, we don't think about it, but what about that high school student that has to have a job to help with the family, right? Or maybe the high school student that is helping take care of the siblings, right? Or any issues that might be going on in those families that we don't know, divorce, et cetera, et cetera. So another reason to consider.
And during the pandemic, that really opened our eyes as we see our students on Zoom holding a sibling in one hand and trying to do their work in the other. So this was, very big for us.
And this is something that we wanted to share with you. This is our district dashboard, and we wanted to give you an idea. We talk about reaching that last 10%, and I wanted to show you that our district, this is our second year with ParentSquare, and we've been able to get a 96% contactable of our families and parents. That's a big deal. Only 639 families that we haven't been able to contact. I'm not saying that we're there yet. We have to reach those 639 families, but what a great job in just 2 years.
Absolutely.
And then finally, as we talk about ParentSquare today, our district, at the district level for mass communication is huge. We're going to concentrate on classroom communication today to empower teachers like us, but also we'll talk about school services. I know we use the forms a lot as a teacher too, and finally, just that one platform that has brought everything together for us. And hopefully at the end, you can leave with some tips and best practices. Just to mention really quick, just that idea of sending positive messages out there and creating those meaningful conversations with parents. That's huge for us through ParentSquare. We'll talk about setting some settings that might work for you in ParentSquare to make things easier for you. We'll talk about how to set up class calendars or group calendars a little bit and give you some tips with calendars, how you can tie it up to your LMS if you use an LMS. We'll talk about how you can make sure that your newsletters are being read by those parents. We'll talk about how you can post pictures directly from phones. I love that my daughter's teacher will send me a picture with ParentSquare during the middle of the day, and I get to see what she's doing in class. That's just huge for me. And finally, we'll talk about how the use of groups for projects or even for communication can work for us.
All right, so let's get down to business. I know we did a lot of talking, but now we're finally gonna get into the fun part. So let's head into ParentSquare and actually show you how it's done.
So one of the great things about ParentSquare for us is that it allows us to have single sign-on. Our teachers don't have to log in, remember a password, and so on and so on. Our district has actually set up ParentSquare through our Launchpad, through ClassLink. And when our teachers come in here, they basically go and click on the ParentSquare app. It automatically takes them in. For today, we are using a sandbox. We're not using our own ParentSquare, but I wanted to show you how easy it is for our teachers. One click, and they're in. Once they are in, it brings them into the ParentSquare screen over here. And I wanted to give you a couple of tips in here, okay? So by default, it shows my school. Let's say that I was in my own ParentSquare. I actually will be able to see my daughter's school here too. So I can be a teacher and a parent at the same time if I wanted to use it this way, okay? As I move on to the right, notice that I can switch it to Espanol or Spanish if that's what I wanted to do. I was thinking about this as a Spanish teacher. I would love to immerse not only my students but my parents actually and function out of Spanish, because they still have the chance to change it to English. But if I actually model that would be great, right? I can actually have reminders in here. If I love ParentSquare, I can come in here and give them some love. Any questions that I might have as a teacher are here. But I wanted to start over here talking about personal settings that I think are huge that can help you as you start using ParentSquare. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go to my account. And what I want you to see is that I can come in here and I can edit my account. And we discovered that during distance learning, creating and making those personal connections between families, students, and teachers was big. So I will definitely encourage you to add a picture. Why not? I can just come in here and just add a picture if I wanted to. Let me just pick one just to show you. Just very, very simple. I'm just going to grab a picture. It's just me right now. If I wanted to make this more personal, I will maybe add a picture of me and my daughter so the students can see me, not just as a teacher, but maybe, as more than just as a human being, right? And those parents can see me as that too. So I could come in here. I also can add a little bit about myself. So even before my students meet me in the classroom, they actually have an idea of who I am, okay? So I'm just going to take just a little intro about me, and I'm going to take it and copy it and throw it in here, okay? And I'm going to save it. And now there's a better idea of who I am for my families, parents, and students right there. As I go through all of my settings here, I also can come into notification settings as a teacher and as a parent, right? But for a teacher, I can decide how I want my notifications: email, text, or the app, which if you're a teacher, I recommend you to use the app. I'm going to show you at the end, if we have time, that you can do the same thing that you can do through the browser or the web version, what you can do in the app, the same thing too, okay? Also, I have the ability to change the language settings. So again, I have it set up to English, and something that a lot of our teachers might not be aware of, it's the office hours, okay? As a teacher, I have the ability over here to enable office hours, which will let my parents and my students know that it is okay to get in contact with me between, maybe I can say 7 a.m.
Wow, that's earlier.
And and 5 p.m. and what days, right? I can choose the weekends and so on, right? And then save. And now my parents have an idea that, you know what, it's okay to get in contact with me because I set those hours for you. So just wanted to make sure that you were aware of those settings that are available for you right there, okay? We're also going to show you, as it's saving right now, we're going to show you some of the choices and tools that you have on this side. But let's start with the main tool, which is over here with posts. So I think Teresa's going to go ahead and share her screen right now, and we'll start with that.
Oh, okay. I thought I had a little bit more time. All right. Surprise. Okay. Let me go ahead and share a screen with you. Please hold all my different screens that are open right now. All right. Ricardo, am I in the right place?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. All right, everyone. So I'm trying to move your face out of the way. I'm sorry, Ricardo. All right, so here I am making a new post. So this is where we get our teachers started and we talk to them about the basics of making a new post. We might not get in depth with everything here, but we're just going to go through these functions as well. So we'll just start here in the middle first. And so your two, you can choose who it goes to. For now, I have these few groups right now. I'm just going to send it to a group that I made so that, you know, it doesn't go to all these random groups, but you could choose as many as you want, and you can also take them out as well. And then who should see this? It could be staff and parents, it could be students. You could select, it's up to you who you want this post to go to and who can actually see it visibly. Okay, so we're just going to make one together. I think you kind of already saw a sneak peek of it in Ricardo's timeline earlier. So kindness newsletter, and we're just going to make this together just to kind of learn the basics of making this post. And so I'm just going to start here, this toolbar, and then later on we'll go into the tools to the left and to the right. Okay, so I'm just going to call this text. And so I know that these are very general, most of us know it, but we're not going to assume anything. So we'll just go through. We have bold, italicize, underline. We also have over here our strike through if you want it. Your different font sizes, if you want it much bigger, your text color as well. And this is really so easy to use. And our teachers have found, you know, you just kind of show them the toolbar and it was really easy for them to figure out how to use it. Okay, oops, it didn't do that. Let me do it one more time. There we go. All right, so you also have your alignment as well. If I want it in the middle, I want it on the side. You can also increase your indent, decrease. You want your ordered list. You have so many different choices here. You could do your alphas and you can do any of them actually. And if you like to unorder them, you can also do circle, disc, lots of options that I won't go through. If you have ParentSquare, you could play around with that as well. And we also have our wonderful emoticons over here, which we love. There we go. And just simple tools here. We can insert an image. We could simply drop one from our computer right here, or you can put it, you know, if it's an image that you are able to use, you could put the link here and it will insert it as well. And Bill, please feel free to interrupt me at any time and correct anything I'm saying. I'm totally fine with that. Okay, you can also insert a video, which I will show you in a moment as well. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that for now because those were just the basics. Here's the fun part. At the very right here in the center, it says more rich. And here's where teachers spend a lot of their time. Because you can add links here. You can add a table. Ricardo, you know how much I love my tables. I could add my tables in there if I wanted to. Right here, use templates. This was a big deal for our teachers. They're like, oh my goodness. At first, they weren't sure how they would use it. But look at these options you have. You have 5-Minute Friday, different types of newsletters. I'm just going to click on it so that you see what it is. So I clicked on 5-Minute Friday, and now I could simply just change the information here to here are a few things we learned this week. Here are some things we'll be learning next week. And it's just an easy template for me to follow. And I could just create this really quickly in 5 minutes on a Friday and send it out to my parents. As a parent, I love seeing what's going on. You know, when I ask my daughter, what did you learn today? A lot of the time I get, I don't know, but it would be great to really know what's going on in the classroom, right? Coming from the teacher. So that's a great one. And you'll see me use this a lot up here, the undo. I Control Z to undo. So I can just show that to you. These are all different types of newsletters. My favorite one is the bordered one, just because of how it looks aesthetically, but you can use anything. And as you can see, you could edit pretty much everything here. And so I'll actually create this with you right now because I have a little bit of time. So I'm going to just delete that. I can add pictures. like what you saw me do earlier. I'm just going to grab one. I'm going to remake that. Oh, actually, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to turn this into a 3-column. Is that Ricardo? Ricardo, I hear you're typing. Thank you. Okay, so here we go. So I went to this one on the right, which I kind of got ahead of myself here. This is design blocks. You can actually manually do, like with this newsletter is already pre-made for us, but you can manually add pretty much everything here. Look, it looks so professional. And I remember as a teacher being in my Google Docs or my Word and doing everything manually, trying to align everything. But this looks so professional as is. I love it. So here we are. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my picture here. I'm just going to delete that. I'm going to add the picture that I wanted. Ricardo, if I'm taking too much time, please let me know.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm not going to do all of them, everybody, because I think you kind of get the picture of what I'm doing here. I'm just deleting and I'm putting in my pictures. Okay. All right, and I'm just going to keep going. And over the text, I know the text is not in English, don't worry. You can type right over it. Important dates. I have my dates. I copied it into another form just to save time today. So you can simply just copy over it. And we do take a little bit more time with our teachers just to give them time to play as we are going through this. Oh my goodness gracious, Teresa, there you go. All right, so I'm just going to continue what I'm doing right now, just show you how quick it is. I'm going to delete this. Ricardo, I'm just going to do this one more, and
Sure.
I'm probably just going to let you go on because, you know, I could take forever doing this. You know, I love it. Okay, so hello, parents. And then we could show you the ending result. There you go. And again, I can add a picture in here. And after this, I'm going to show you how to add that video. Here's the picture. And we share with teachers how to find these pictures. Some of them create them. Some of them find them online, which is so easy to do. And I can even add a video down here. I could just get rid of this. Let's say I just want this whole box. Oops, just kidding. Got excited there. I can just do that. And I could add my video. Let's see if I have, where's my YouTube? Oh, here it is. Here's that video that I found for random acts of kindness. So put that in there. And you see how nicely it shows up right there. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but let's just pretend it's done and beautiful. So when I'm ready, again, I did show you all these tools. So again, the tool we use mainly for our teachers are the templates and also these design blocks, very useful. So we'll let you play around with those. We won't go through all of them. Okay. Also on the left, Ricardo, did you want me to finish this one and make a new one, or can I just?
No, go ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
I was going to make 2 posts, everyone, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to use the same one. Okay. So we have some options over here on the left, and Ricardo and Bill, please feel free to chime in at any time. We can do a calendar entry down here. So you see at the very bottom, you can actually put an entry for your calendar and things like, let's for example, you know, if you want this to show up in the calendar, you want parents to come in to volunteer to pick up something, whatever, that would be useful. Attach photos. Ricardo and I were talking earlier. We're like, why would you want to attach a photo instead of sticking it in the actual post? And we were playing around, and what he noticed is that when you attach it, the parents are able to, Ricardo, you can explain what happened.
Yes. So when you attach that, as I was saying, that teacher that sends me pictures of my daughter all the time, the ability to go in there and click on it and be able to download it and keep that picture. It's just great.
And when it was actually in the post, he wasn't able to click it and keep it. So that was kind of, as a parent, I would love to be able to keep pictures that I see of my child in there. So that's a reason why we would choose that as well. Okay, a big one down here are forms and permissions. This was an eye opener. So for our district, so I'm just going to check a date right here. So when you have a form, you can put a form in here, and you can create a new form if you want to do it from scratch. And you can make it require a signature. So it depends what it's for. Are you giving permission? Do you want approval for something? Do you need verification? It gives you examples here if you're not sure what to choose. You can also have attachments here. All right, this is optional or it's mandatory. Requires student information. And then you just enter your question here. Is your student permitted to use a glue gun for Science Olympiad. We had Science Olympiad going the last few weeks, so that's in my mind right now. And I'm sure you would capitalize that, but so different types of answers. Did I spell that wrong? Of course, Olympiad. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that. So you can have short answer, paragraph, select one, select many. I would select one for here. I do require this because that's the whole point of it going out. And I just do the different selections here. Yes, no. Sometimes I just made that up. Some parents don't like their kids using glue guns as we make things for Science Olympiad. It's understandable. Okay, so, or if you want, you could actually select from an existing form. This is where I would spend most of my time as a teacher. I would love to just select from an existing form. If we have a form that we use across the school or across the district, for example, for field trips, here's one, permission slip for a field trip. I'm gonna select that. And it's already there, and you'll see what it looks like once I'm done. And it's amazing. See how that was like 2 seconds. That was super fast. And for our teachers, that was like, wow, okay, definitely going to use that. Okay, so ask for items. This is a great one too. And it's so easy to set up. That's what kind of blew our minds, you know, especially our teachers who are learning along with us. When do you need the items by? You can change it. Maybe I'll say on Friday. What do you want to bring? I don't know. What's a big thing? Sanitizer. That's a big thing right now, right? You just need refills of it. You can add more items, maybe Clorox wipes, tissue boxes, just the endless supply. You can just add more and more and more. You can add another day if you need additional things for another day. So see how easy that was. And request volunteers. So let's say we were having a field trip. I know my topic is about kindness, but we're just kind of throwing all these options out there. So when do you want people to sign up? So I'll say on Friday as well. What do you want people to do? Join us on a field trip, period. We'll probably leave maybe 9 and come back at 2, not in the morning, 2 p.m. And I'll say I need 6 of them. And maybe I'll add another task. Maybe I need someone to create safety bags, which is just another word for sanitizers and tissues and stuff that the students might need. And I don't have to put a time because they're not actually going to be with me. They can work on this themselves at home and just make sure we have it ready for for the day of our field trip, right? So maybe I need 5 people to help with that. So that's very easy. So I went through all of those. Pretend my newsletter is beautiful, everyone. And then now at the top right, let's say I'm ready. I can post now. I can schedule it. I could save draft. I could preview. Teachers were so excited that they could schedule because a lot of times teachers work on all their things on 1 or 2 days, but they don't want it to go out right away. So they're able to create these posts for the week, and then they're able to schedule it for a later time. If you're not ready, you could save as draft. You can even preview it if you want to see what it looks like right now as is. Actually, you know what? That's what I'm going to do right now so that I don't have to worry about Ricardo clicking around. So I'm going to go ahead and preview it. And it's thinking. And so here's my preview of my amazing, beautiful newsletter that I just made. And here's the permission slip for the field trip. And I didn't do any of that. I clicked on the circle and selected field trip permission slip. Look at all this information.
And notice too that now the parent just selects the student now. You don't have to be looking or typing. It just makes it a lot easier.
Absolutely. Yeah. So look at, does your child have allergies? All of these things. And down here, wish list, sanitizer, Clorox wipes. I have my volunteer list. I can sign up over here for, being a chaperone or creating safety bags. And that was so easy for the teachers to set up and so easy for the parents to receive. And they can, again, like what Ricardo showed you, they can choose how they receive this information. So I can hide this preview right now. And we have some options up here. And again, feel free to interrupt me with more information. Send at user preferred time. So our parents, the great thing about ParentSquare is that our parents get to choose how they receive the information and when they receive the information. So if I select this right now, they'll receive it when, the time frame that they've chosen. I can send it instantly, or I don't notify them and they just go in whenever they go into the app, or whenever they go in, then they'll see it there. So I'm just going to go ahead and post this now. Is that okay with you, Ricardo?
Yes, go ahead.
So I will post it and cross my fingers that I didn't forget any portion of it. Oh, I forgot to mention something, but that's okay. So, and now I get to see what my parents see. So here it is. Here's a permission slip over here. And some great options here once you're done. You can come and edit this. You can actually duplicate this. And this was a big deal because some of our teachers love to give weekly or monthly newsletters, and they realized they didn't have to start from scratch. They could duplicate it and change it. Or you can even edit this and then resend it in case you forgot something. Oh my goodness, I forgot something. You can edit it and then you can send the update out to your parents. You could delete it. You can add an admin if you want, print it, get a link. If you are allowing comments, you can also have comments with the parents, which is great because I love when my daughter's teacher sends us something and I could leave a comment down at the bottom. Thank you for the information, blah, blah. I love seeing that. Okay. So, and the different add-ons down here as well. Okay. Ricardo, did I miss anything there?
No, I think that was great. And I think you mentioned that I got your newsletter right away when you and again, as you said, that two-way communication, right? That I can come in here and I can appreciate that you did that for me, and I can come in here and leave a comment if I wanted to, so that we have that communication back and forth. I think that's great. I think that's pretty incredible.
The one thing that I didn't want to, I was going to skip it, but I think it's so important. When you're creating it, at the bottom, you have an option to edit translation as well. So if you are providing different versions of your correspondence in Spanish or whatever, you can select it and you can edit it to make sure it's how you want it to appear for those other languages that parents might select.
So in addition to being able to do the posts, I think one that our teachers really bought into is the ability to create signups. And I know this was big for parent conferences. So I'll go to that one before. Oh no, let me do the new poll. So let's say that, just give you an idea of the new poll. Okay, so I, as a Spanish teacher, love, and I do this every spring, I take my students to Europe. So as I do that, I like to give my parents and my students choice. And I actually created a little poll that I said, you know what, as we start planning our trip to Europe, why don't you parents let me know what you think would be a good trip to do? And I just gave them 3 options in here, and they were able to vote and decide where we want to go, and the ability to leave comments, right? Very easy to do. I just went in here. I just went to new poll. And I went ahead and said who I was going to send it to, my Spanish 1 class, my question, right? And I just put the Europe trip in here, I guess, and I would have put the question right here. And again, the different places that we're going, and published the poll. And exactly, I showed you what it looks like. So what a great tool. The other one that I love, and probably my favorite tool in ParentSquare. Actually, before I show you that one, I want to show you this really quick. This was my, no, I know Teresa showed you how to create a post. This was my welcome back to school post. And I think what I love about it, again, it was done in 5 minutes, and I was able to add about me. I was able to add my little cell corner that we talked about, but I wanted to feature the students too. And I was actually able to put video projects that my students have created in the class, and the parents can just kind of watch them and see their students and what they do in my class. So I thought that was pretty amazing to have that in there. In addition,
Ricardo, I'm sorry. Bill and Sarah want to go with you on the Euro trip. Sorry, guys.
Let's go.
Sorry.
In addition to that, when I talk about the parent conferences, right? What I love about ParentSquare, and this was huge for me. So I'm going to show you how to create those parent conferences signups. But inside of it, I was able to create on the posts, add a little bit, and we all learned how making those relationships was so important for us. I actually added a video of myself explaining to my parents in both English and Spanish how they will fill this out for me. So I actually had the ability to do that and create that connection, and they see me explaining to them how to do this. Okay. So that was just to show you. And then how do we do this? Again, I'm just going to go home. I'm going to go to appointment sign up. Okay. I can add a date. So maybe our parent conferences are going to be at the end of the month. So let me add the 28th, and let me add one more date.
I'm excited for this one.
The 29th, right? And then the start time for me, let's say that we're going to start at 12:30. Okay, and then we're gonna finish. Let's say we're gonna finish at 6. Okay, and then let's go to PM. Okay, and then you do have the ability. Maybe you need a break to have dinner right between there somewhere, right? So you have the ability to add a recess right there, and you can say, you know what, between 4 p.m.
These are not the breaks between, right?
No, this is my little break that I'm taking to have dinner, right?
Nice.
And maybe 5 p.m. We're not going to have anything go on during that time, so I can put that in there. But yes, Teresa, I can say, okay, each of them is going to last 30 minutes for the duration of the appointment. And I do want a break between them. I know at the high school it was 5 minutes always. I won't do the 3 minutes that I did last time,
Thank
okay? And then I can come in here and say, you know what? I want to hide names of the users that sign up. I like to have it like that. I can still see them, but I want to hide them. And I just want one appointment per user, obviously, because I'm doing parent conferences, and I want to make sure that that's the way I want to put it on. So I'm going to go next now. Okay, it's going to create it for me, and I'm going to say, you know what? On Tuesday, I do have to leave early. So let me make sure and just make sure that I delete those 2 spots. So easy to do. Come in here and delete them. And I can also do this. I can say, you know what? I can change the name of it if I wanted to, right? I'm not going to do that right now. Everything looks good. So let me go ahead and go next. Okay, and over here is where I added my little banner and my video and so on that you saw. I'm not going to do it right now because we don't have a lot of time, but I wanted to make sure that you can see that. And now I can come in here and everything looks perfect. Okay, so everything looks good, right? I think. So I'm going to, again, the ability to post now or preview, but I'm going to go ahead and post it now. Okay.
Your recipients.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't do that. Sorry about that. That was my fault. Okay, and what I want you to see, this is something that our teachers learn, okay? Maybe there's a parent that maybe they have issues using a computer, or they might not have access to a computer, and they call you and they say, you know, Mr. Recinos, I want to be able to come on Monday at 1:40, but I don't know how to sign up, or I don't know how to do it. Guess what? As a teacher, I can come in here and say, you know what? Add someone. And I can go ahead and add that. Just look for that parent just by their name over here. Okay, and I can come in here, and here's the parent right here. I can select them, and I can go ahead and add them if I want to do that. Okay, so just a great tool that you can use.
What if they don't?
They can look them up by. They can actually look them up by student name too if they wanted to, which is what I did, right? So I can go and look for my student right here, and I'll be able to find them that way too. So I thought that was really, really great, a great tool to have. Okay. I keep saying my favorite tool and my favorite tool because they're all my favorite tools. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We should count how many times he says it.
But honestly, messages. Okay, messages are just incredible to me, and I'm going to show you how this works. Okay, so notice that I am talking to a parent. I can select again by student if I wanted to. I can do a new message just to one parent or to a group of parents. It's completely up to you. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Okay, let's go ahead and do a new message. Okay, and again, I can say send to students, select to students, or send to parents. Okay, so I'm just going to select one parent right here. Okay, I can search for them if I want to. Okay, or I can just kind of go over here and kind of find them if I wanted to. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay, hopefully I can find it, and here is the one that I want to use. Okay, and now I'm just going to use that particular one right now, and I can say a private message. That means that if I selected more than one particular parent, it will create a private message for each of those parents. Or if I wanted to do a group message, everybody will be included in that group message. I always select the private message as I want to have separate conversations with those particular parents. And I go here and do my message, right? And we've been talking about creating these relationships, right? We've been talking about positive messages, okay? As a teacher, what a better way for me to create those relationships than to take time and maybe come in here and just send a nice message to one of my students. Okay, I'm just going to use something that I already have created. Okay, and I'm just going to change this to, okay, the parent doesn't know that I did this, right? But I'm just going to go and say, good morning, Ms. Barrera, right? I was really impressed with your student today, right? Listening skills, so on and so on and so on. But what I want you to see is that depending on how the parent decides what language to use, okay, I'm going to bring my phone in here. And I want you to see this, okay? So here is the parent. Hopefully you can see this. Okay, and let me know if you cannot see it, Teresa. Okay.
I can see it.
Okay, let's go ahead and go in there. Let me go and open ParentSquare from the parent point of view. Okay, and I'm gonna go in here and I'm going to send that message right now, okay? So let me go ahead and send that message right now. Okay, it's going on. And now let me show you. I know I moved my phone out of the way. I should have left it there. Okay, now this particular parent got a message. But what I want you to see is that the message was sent by me in English. This parent has decided that they want to use Spanish, and that came automatically to that parent in Spanish. Okay, that parent can come in here and respond to me if they wanted to, right? And say, maybe say, thank you very much, right? Or whatever they might say. I'm just going to try to write it right here, right? And I should have put the teacher right here. I don't know why I didn't do that. Okay, there we go. Okay, and I'm gonna send it. And then I, as the teacher, is gonna get it here in the language that I chose to get over here, okay? And it's just, here it goes. Do you see that right there?
Wow.
Right on the spot. So now this parent is communicating in Spanish. I'm seeing everything in English, and I'm going back in English, and they're getting everything back in Spanish. This is so easy to do. I wanted to show you that ability that I talked about a second ago. Let me see if I can go back to my phone again. So before, I wanted to talk to this particular parent, and I actually sent a picture of their student, okay? And this is just a picture of my daughter, but I wanted to make sure you guys saw it. And they actually get to see that, okay? How would I do that as a teacher, okay? I wanted to show you that's actually a tool that we have. And because this phone right now, it's set up as a parent, let me go ahead and switch to my iPad. And I know it's going to be
devices.
all of my devices. I'm so sorry. You give me a second. I'm going to go in.
So
as
he's doing that, just think of it. I remember when I was in the classroom, wanting to correspond with parents, but needing to search for someone to translate my information, no longer needing that. And now my parents don't hesitate to reach out to me, because I know a lot of parents have a lot to say, but didn't know how to communicate. So that really breaks that barrier.
Can you see my iPad right now, Teresa?
Yes, I can.
So this could be my phone or my iPad, okay? It doesn't matter what it is, but I can open my ParentSquare as a teacher. Okay, I'm gonna open it right now. Okay, I can come in here. Let me go back so you can see it from the beginning. Let's go ahead and cancel that. Oh, I decided to take a picture. Let me cancel that. Because I want to show you how this works. So let me cancel that. Let me get out of there. Okay, so let's go ahead and open it. And I guess I'll take the picture so you can see it. Okay, let's keep it for now so I can go back and show you, okay? It doesn't want to go back for me. Okay, hold on.
Cancel on the bottom.
Yeah, I'm trying to, there we go. Cancel, sorry. There we go. Okay, here it goes. Not going back. What's going on? This car. My touchscreen is not working very well today. But the idea is that I can come to ParentSquare. Let me just do it again.
So this is real life, everybody.
Yeah, I know. It
how
should have
tech
worked.
loves to work for us.
It worked this morning when I tried it. Here it goes. So I'm in ParentSquare. Okay. And I come in here and I want to send a message. Okay. So I can come in here and I can go either I want to use a message or a post if I want. It doesn't matter what it is. But I'm just doing a message right now. I'm going to go in there. Okay. And I'm going to send it to Maricela right now. And you know what? Your student was doing really well. I can come in here and click on the bottom and I can say, take a photo or video. Okay. And on the spot, I go ahead and take a picture and I can send that picture. Use this photo. And I can go ahead and send it if I want to. So just on the spot, and that parent is going to get that picture on the spot. Okay. So let me just go ahead and send it. Okay. And I send it right now. And if I went back to my phone, I'm just going to close this for a second. I can go back to my phone and you'll be able to see that picture right there. Okay, such a great tool to have. And again, the messaging is such a great tool to have for us. Okay. Another feature that I love is the calendar. I wanted you to see something. Okay. So I want you to see that if you notice my calendar over here, notice how all of my homework is in here. I can switch dates. And I can see all of the different homeworks that I have due. Okay, so I can show you. Let me go to view all.
Okay, this is my favorite.
This is your favorite?
Yes.
So notice that I did not do anything. I didn't come in here and like type every single assignment. Okay, I'll show you how I did this. Okay, so I'm just gonna go home. And I want you to see it from the teacher's point of view, from the student's point of view in a second too. But I just wanna go home. I'm going to go to my calendar. Okay. And over here, you have the ability to create a new event. I think Teresa showed you how to do that. You have the ability to come over here and you can link to a Google Calendar, which you could do that. But let's say that you are that teacher that is using, I don't know, for us, we use Canvas, but maybe you're using Google Classroom, or maybe you're using another type of LMS, okay? I have the ability to link, ICS calendar right here. All I do is come in here, click on it, okay? I can tell it to which class I want to link it to, okay? And now it's going to ask me for my calendar location. So as a teacher that uses Canvas, okay, I would just go to my Canvas class just to show you. I will go to my calendar and I'm just going to my calendar. That's all I'm doing, okay? In here, okay, here are my classes. This is all I did. I came here, I click on calendar feed. I copy that. I went back to ParentSquare. I threw that link in there. And I already have it, so I won't, and I press submit. And when I submit, this showed up. Now I want you to see it from the parent's point of view. If I can, it's coming right now, hopefully.
So when there's a new assignment, Ricardo, did you have to go to ParentSquare to
So
put it in?
I did not have to go to ParentSquare to put it in. Everything that I'm putting on my LMS is showing up on ParentSquare now as the ParentSquare just taking it in. So now I can come in here and I can go in and then I can come in. I think I have to switch to my class really quick before I do that. Maybe switch to that particular class, okay, where I put it.
And what a great way for parents and families to be able to support their student to actually see the homework and no extra step needed on the
So
teacher's
notice that
side.
as a parent, I have access to what's due, whatever day it is and so on and so on. I can come in here and just click on it. And if there's any assignments due, let me go back and go my events again to the big one. I can just click on them and I can see the assignments that are due from the parent point of view. And again, like you said, Teresa, the teacher didn't have to do anything else. Once they link their calendar in there, it automatically puts it in for our parents to be able to see in there.
I have a quick question from the chat. Nicole said, how do teachers balance email via the school and messages via ParentSquare? What do you think?
You know, at least for me, I've trained my parents to use ParentSquare. I've worked really hard to make sure that they understand that that is the way I'm going to communicate with them. And that's the way that it's going to work for me. And that's the way we do it. But, honestly, I can tell you that for me and the type of parents that I have, they don't prefer email. They are used to an app. They are used to a text message. And that's the way they function. And it just creates a better way for me to communicate with them.
Well, for me, I'm on the other side. I prefer email, but I think, we also trained our sites. So when schools send out information, they are also using ParentSquare. So the schools are using ParentSquare, the teachers are using ParentSquare, so that the parents get to choose where they receive this information.
And they're getting it through an email, right? And once they get the ParentSquare through an email and they respond, they don't know that they're responding to my ParentSquare app or my ParentSquare account. They're doing it through email. Yeah, even though I'm receiving it through ParentSquare, right?
Yeah, thank you. I was going to add there. Sorry, this is Bill, and just kind of along the lines of what both of you said there. Many schools, if you look at it, email actually becomes yet another tool if we're using separate tools. And our goal with ParentSquare is to bring and Aeries Communication is bring everything into one place. So if you send a message through ParentSquare or through Aeries Communications, it's automatically going to send an email if a parent wants an email. Another parent may want text message. So it's going to let you, basically you send the message, you don't care how they receive it. They get to decide how they receive it. So it really touches on that, that equitable communication and letting people decide how they want to communicate.
What Bill said, he just said it a lot nicer than I did.
What he said.
I function out of ParentSquare. My parents don't know. They can send me an email, a text. Everything to me is coming to ParentSquare. And they choose how they receive it. Exactly.
That's all that matters.
The last one that I wanted to show you for me, and I think this is big for me, it's groups. We had a teacher last week that called me and said, you know what, I want to send a message or this particular sign-up sheet just to this group. Okay, how do I do that? I don't want it to go to everybody. And we decided that it was a good idea to just come up and create a new group right here. But you could also use this for students. How about if you wanted to use it for like math groups or for lab groups, right? Or for assignments and so on and so on. But we came in here and we decided that we wanted to just come up and create a group. And she went and decided to you have the ability to do static group, auto update group, and community group if you have this feature, I think. And then they just came in here and then they decided to go in and create the group by just selecting the parents that they wanted. So they call this group, I think they call it English learners, I think they called it, Teresa.
Sure.
Because it was a special group, I think they did. And they went in here and they decided that it was just going to be a school group that they wanted to create for them, right? And they picked basically the parents and the students that they wanted to be in there and they saved it. And now they had that group that whenever they wanted to send information just to that particular group, they had it created right in front of them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know I wanted to leave some time for questions. So I know we have about 5 minutes, right, Teresa?
Oh, good job. Oh, can we go back to our Padlet, please?
Sure. Let me go ahead and find it. Sorry, guys, I have 3 screens, 1 phone, 1 iPad going on here. Trying to juggle everything.
All right, so we're going to go back to our Padlet right now just to kind of see where we all are And Ricardo, if you could throw that back in there, I would really appreciate it. So we're just going to focus on the first column here. Aha moments, things I liked, learned, or would like to try. Or if you've been using ParentSquare for a while, what is one of your favorite things? Maybe you have 50 favorite things like Ricardo, where, you could just put in one or two. And so templates, well, absolutely. Thank you. So please, let's throw in the things and share all the wealth, all the things that we would love to try. Thank you. So we're going to go ahead and give you a moment to do that. And
yeah, I see the questions I have. Someone said you mentioned that the app is better. Yes, unfortunately, I had the app on the phone. It was for my students today because I wanted to show you the translation. But yes, I function completely out of my phone. I open it up and I can create a post. I can create a message. I can create anything I want from the phone. I have the ability to do all of that inside of my phone. So yes, it's just so great to have it in my hands. Mm-hmm.
So as you're completing the pad that we also, Leslie was kind enough to put in the feedback survey too. So please, we would very much appreciate your feedback for our session today. It is session 196 when you do the feedback. And so we're going to go ahead and let you do that. I see Bill said, for instance, an automatic message if a grade in a certain class falls below a certain percent. I see. He's answering questions for us. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah, there was a great question about gradebook integration.
Okay.
And Sarah may want to add to this, but we do have integration with Aeries Gradebook, which is one of the benefits of having these two companies work together. The way that works today is that as a parent, you can go in and let's say you're concerned about your child's third period math grade. They always have struggle in math. You can set up a trigger or an automated alert for that classroom. And you can basically say, there's a couple different things you can do. Let me know anytime the letter grade changes up or down a grade. So you get an automated notice there. Or you could also say something like, if the letter grade goes under a 60%, then notify me and stuff. So you have these really cool triggers that parents can set up and not have to wait for that progress report in week 5 to come out to find out their child's failing. They could know right when the grade goes from an A to a B. So that's the integration that I'm aware of right now. Sarah, if you have any integration to add, I know they did ask about calendar integration, but I don't believe at this time we have anything that integrates the Aeries gradebook into our calendar.
No, we don't have anything with that specific integration in place. I did want to also put a side note on the groups. That was great information shared by Ricardo and Teresa about the groups that can be created in ParentSquare. There's also a couple options for dynamic student groups created right out of Aeries and automatically updated on a nightly basis so that you guys don't even have to worry about adding those members in there. So yeah, and also just want to give a big thank you to you guys. Was a great presentation from the teacher point of view. I absolutely enjoyed it. So thank you.
Thank you. I wanted to add, we had a PE teacher that was having problems with students not dressing up or students being late. The message feature, your student will stay for class, student will stay for class. And now you have that parent involved and knowing that this is going on. And now they can intervene and help you with that. So I know our teachers are using it in many different ways.
Two-way communication, very, very important. So thank you so much, everybody. We appreciate it. We know, your time is very valuable. So thank you so much for spending this time with us. And thank you, Leslie, and everyone from Aeries and Bill. And we appreciate you so much.